staying culture, let's make some more. Cat that's corner, so you call her. All the baddies is a lady, pull up, he's a lady. Killer, you may also know him as that. Chatting with Kash on the back end, I was gonna add up the chamber like a cat. Gotta say I'm glad I was in the Jupiter like an OG status and I still up on the path. Cooking over gas, started the expansion. Looking like a blast man, it's fun to be a cat. If you ain't one yet, you should stick around for that. When my name turned red, I felt the first passion. I just go get it moving on, making do some music and the cats like it's a groove. Truly, cats looking like a little movie. Life getting changed, that's how he said he do. We got wins here every week. I've been saying that it's heat. Every call I be getting geeked. I'm in thrall for every speaker. Updates making peace. Roof break, can you see it? Luck ain't even in it. This is just a bunch of heavy lifting. So look, it's a Wednesday running back. There's a W in the chat. The cat that's spitting facts got the Catholic culture on the map. There ain't no PvP. We preaching PvP. If you want COC, you better serve me. We got wins here every week. I've been saying that it's heat. Every call I be getting geeked. I'm in thrall for every speaker. Updates making peace. Roof break, can you see it? Luck ain't even in it. This is just a bunch of heavy lifting. So look, it's a Wednesday running back. There's a W in the chat. The cat that's spitting facts got the Catholic culture on the map. There ain't no PvP. We're preaching PvP. If you want COC, you better show you mean it. Stay in culture, let's make some more. Cat that's corner, so you call her. All the baddies is a lady, pull up, he's a lady. Killer, you may also know him as that. Chatting with Kash on the back end, I was gonna add up the chamber like a cat. Gotta say I'm glad I was in the Jupiter like an OG status and I still up on the path. Cooking over gas, started the expansion. Looking like a blast man, it's fun to be a cat. If you ain't one yet, you should stick around for that. When my name turned red, I felt the first passion. I just go get it moving on, making do some music and the cats like it's a groove. Truly, cats looking like a little movie. Life getting changed, that's how he said he do. We got wins here every week. I've been saying that it's heat. Every call I be getting geeked. I'm in thrall for every speaker. Updates making peace. Roof break, can you see it? Luck ain't even in it. This is just a bunch of heavy lifting. So look, it's a Wednesday running back. There's a W in the chat. The cat that's spitting facts got the Catholic culture on the map. There ain't no PvP. We're preaching PvP. If you want COC, you better serve me.
It's yes, indeed. We are back at home. I'm going to warn you right now. Just first thing off the bat, no time for small talk, no time for nothing else. This call is going to go long because we got a lot of stuff to go through. So buckle up. We have a very fun one. Do me a little favor. If you're watching early right now, please do pump it out in, like it, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not good at all the KOL stuff. And then I realize I'm asking you all to do that. And I have not done it myself just yet. So let me do that too. Like and repost the stream. We have a genuine banger for you today. There's going to be some genuine alpha. We are going to be revealing who the first ICO on the DTF platform is going to be. We are going to be talking about a bunch of changes to the community that are coming in. And you will see Alley Cat is going to have some very exciting updates there and some very exciting sunglasses for you to take a look at as well. We have some alpha on some new products from prediction markets. We got the homie Julian here. Inshallah, Joe Doe shows up as well. And we're going to talk about limit orders, which just launched. And then, of course, we have a banger partner, Anchorage Digital, in the building as well. So please get nice and warm and comfy. Drop a little jam in the chat. Start to feel good. And we can get this on the road. To get started here, though, before we do any of that, you know that the lawyers, God, these goddamn lawyers, they just will not let me have any fun. They always require me to do one thing before we actually get started, which is, of course, play the unofficial Cadet theme song. Let's go. God damn, that gets me so hyped up every goddamn time. And I do apologize for swearing, but I'm excited, so I cannot help it. We are here on the Planetary call. If it is your first time here, welcome. Polymongre asking, how often do I need to travel? Too often. I'm here in beautiful Bombay for like 36 hours, I think. I had to come here to do a little shoot. You're going to see your boy up on the big screen. That's not actually true. It'll be the small screen. But I had to come over for that. But whether I'm in Dubai at home, whether I'm in India, in Singapore, Malaysia, or goddamn, the planet Mars, I'll always have time for the Planetary call. And indeed, my name is Kash. I am the cat herder. I'm actually wearing the same outfit in this photo, sans the Kirby on the back of my head. Shout out to the Kerbal, who continue to just dominate my mentions. One of the most active communities that's come out of studio. If you are new around here, welcome. Where have you been? We've done 59 of these. It's very good to have you here at long last. The goal of this call is to talk about the people, the products, the partners that make the Jupyverse so great. The idea is to kind of compress everything that's going on across Jupiter, and it is a fuck ton, into a single hour to 2 hour to 6 hour type call so that you can stay up to date with everything that's going to go on. Here's the agenda for today. We're going to talk about not this week in the Jupyverse, but this fortnight in the Jupyverse, because we do this every 2 weeks. Then we're going to have Boaz on from Anchorage Digital. Anchorage is a name that many of you might have heard vaguely, but maybe don't know exactly what they do. Very important player in the entire ecosystem. And you'll hear more about why and what our partnership with them looks like that we're super excited about at Jupiter. Then we're going to have the chef himself, Joe Doe, on to talk about limit orders V2 before we go and hear from Julian about the prediction markets, before we then go to hear from YK about DTF and reveal for the first time who the first ICO is going to be. After that, we'll talk a little bit about the DAO vote that starts tomorrow on whether or not we should burn nearly 130 million Jup that's currently held in the Litterbox. And then finally, we're going to talk about the community reset. Long time coming. Ali Cat and his whole team have been putting a lot of work into this, into some changes that are going to come and hopefully allow the community to go faster, further together in a more unified manner. So stick around for that as well. As you can see, we can barely fit the agenda on the slides. It is going to be a long one. This call is stacked. Bork is absolutely correct, jam-packed. Monique is also correct. I don't know why we're not showing all the comments on the screen, but hopefully that's going to change very quickly, Jam. And we are going to be able to have a very good one. I'm going to take some time estimates now. We do need to get some prediction markets on for this happy wet day. Interesting. We do need to get some prediction markets for how long this call. Any guesses on how long this call is going to go in the chat? Winner, I'll send, I don't know, I'll send a 1,000 Kirby. I don't actually know what that is worth. I'll send something for anyone who is okay. Girk is probably correct at 3 hours, so that's probably easy. 1.5. Guam says 10 hours. Shout out to Guam. Mr. Classy can absolutely talk about Carrot's allocation. Just ask me again during the Litterbox section, and I'm happy to talk about that. Got my popcorn. FT Richie's locking in an hour and 40 minutes. I think that's probably closest. Else is 2:45. No respect. 99 minutes. All right. We're going to come back and check those, inshallah, at the end of the call and see how we do. I believe this has been posted in Discord already. If not, Ali Cat, if you can do that and just check your DMs, that would be awesome. And we're going to get going right about now. So, first time here. Welcome. Who said that? Oh, Victor said that. You're going to have a good time. I am indeed hitting Bollywood. All right, so let's talk about this week in the Jupyverse. We're going to make it happen right here as I can find my slides. There we go. A lot of stuff happened. So I'm going to speed run this so that you can kind of get a sense of it all. First, we talked about Ultra V3 for the first time in the last 2 weeks. It's crazy that this is just 2 weeks ago. I thought this would have been like months ago, honestly. The most advanced trading engine, the apex predator of trading engines, powering mobile, swaps, pro, the desktop extension, and much more. You get the best execution prices critically. That's what actually matters. Execution price is what you actually get in your wallet. Quoted price is what you see on the screen. And there's some funny things that you can do over on that side. But not just that, you get MEV protection, optimized slippage, first-class support, improved transaction landing, and it's gasless for any verified token. Absolutely crazy. Major W. Team put a lot of work into this one over the last few weeks, months, years. Then we had a major announcement with Uniswap. I felt a little bit bad about this one, if I can be honest, because I feel like Uniswap took some shit for it. I think it's great that they want to bring their users and have them be able to trade Solana tokens as well. Uniswap is a super high caliber team. We're really psyched to be partnering with them on this. We've said it before. We'll say it again. When the best teams across crypto want access to Solana, they come to one place and one place only, and that is Jupiter, baby. That's Fluid, Athena, Uniswap, Kalshi, and many more are still on the list that we can't tell you about just yet. So really excited about this for anyone that wants to trade Solana tokens on Uniswap. They are going to be using Jupiter as they do so. Shout out to YY, Ben, Siong, and everybody else at Uniswap for making this one happen. This one was a labor of love. I'm not going to lie. Did people read this? Can you drop a little W in the chat if you read the Q3 token holders report? Because I'm not going to lie to you, it was not easy to put together. And big shout out to Ben, Schaff, Morton, Kishan, Dionys, and Srijani for helping. All right, Scarlett read it. A few people read it. Yes, we're going to show all of those very quickly, Jab, right? So yes, real recognizes real. We are absorbing everything that goes by. That's right. 30 plus pages of deep details on everything that you need to know that's happened in Q3. Unprecedented transparency. We started doing this in Q2. Since then, a bunch of other great teams have kind of followed in our steps, which we love to see. It's the kind of thing that helps improve the entire space. I had a liquid fund reach out and tell me, hey, if the entire space can just start doing stuff like this, we can throw away that whole scam reputation that we have as a space. So who even does it like Jupiter? Bork says, and Bork is correct. Bullish as fuck. Read that. That's good to hear. If you haven't yet read it, jup.ag/update/Q3-2025. We talk about not just the products that have kind of already been growing and some of the metrics. The numbers look good, by the way, 70% increase in volume and some other things, but also what we're going to be thinking about looking forward as well. So pretty good to look at. This one is very close to my heart. Shout out to the LP Army. Shout out to my guys, Soju, Zen, Mir, Malcolm, and everyone else over there. Sudoku, obviously. Met is now live. It went live in the last week or so, I guess. Extremely proud of the Met family for doing this. They did something that no one else has done. 48% float on day one, right? Team locked up for 6 years, vesting over the course of 6 years, which is just insane. And everybody unlocked on day one as well. Super, super cool. Remember, if you're a Jup staker and you have not yet claimed your Met, you have some Met waiting for you at met.meteora.ag. And as a PPS, join the LP Army. You're going to see and learn a lot of great strategies, and you can just follow. Oh, shout out to Pepe. What's going on, Pepe? I didn't know you were in the crowd there. Incredible launch, says Molu. Molu's an incredible guy. Also, some great threads on DLMing if you want to get deeper down that hole, deeper down that rabbit hole. Okay, hopefully that will not get clipped. Next up, Jupiter now runs the second largest validator on Solana. Just kind of moving up the charts step by step here. 11.3 million souls staked to the validator. Why, you might ask, does this matter? Well, simple reason. The more stake we have on the validator, the more we can land your transactions and any other user's transactions. And that really does matter, especially when things get kind of fraught, when there's a lot of trading activity. When you want to make sure that your transactions land, Jupiter has a real differentiated edge here. Big shout out to Italo, excuse me, and the rest of the info team on pushing this one forward. The Jup token itself got listed on Gemini. Shout out to my guy, Rohan, over there. You can buy Jup on Gemini today. Gemini in general is making a big push into the Solana ecosystem. They just launched a card product where you can spend your Solana tokens on, which is super cool. Really big fans of those guys. High quality team. My guy, excuse me, my guy Saad, who I used to play poker with, me, him, and Akshay. I used to play poker together like 5 years ago in Singapore, and now he's over at Gemini doing great stuff as well. So love Gemini. Shout out to the whole team over there. In other news, the prediction market's live in beta. It's very important to put the beta tag in it. You'll hear a little bit more about the upcoming roadmap when Julian comes on in about 20, 30 minutes. But you can now trade real world events directly on Jupiter using stable coins anywhere in the world. The jup.ag/prediction. We got 6 markets up right now. Definitely take a look at some of those. Sorry, I got here and then I wolfed down some paneer sandwich, and clearly it did not agree with me. We'll see if I get food poisoning by the end of the call. Julian, load up a prediction market on that, please. That'd be great. We still have more to talk about in terms of like what's happened in just the last 2 weeks, by the way. The most requested feature on Portfolio is now live. Major shout out to Guam, the Liam Neeson of the Solana shit. Olivier, Camille, and everybody else on that team for putting this together. A feature that I personally have been asking for forever. You can actually now see your net worth over time. Depending on how crypto has been to you, this is either going to be a very exciting thing to see or a somewhat sad thing to see. But in either way, knowing what gets measured gets managed, right? So knowing is the first step to actually being able to do interesting things. Data from over 160 Solana protocols. No one else has this, folks. This is only in Jupiter. And one of the things that's the coolest about this, in addition to the actual core tech, you can only see it if you're using the Jupiter wallet. So desktop extension or the mobile wallet. And you can start to see how we're trying to better integrate the products together, give more perks to Jup stakers who can see more than one wallet for their airdrop checking, much more convenient. And then users who actually use the other products actually get differentiated access to things as well. This is a super cool one. If you haven't tried out the wallet, make sure you do. It's awesome. Lend got a little bit better as well. We now have stats, historical APYs for everything over there. That's been highly requested, and a new asset. And I know, hold on, let me pull up the chat. I'm on my laptop, so I can't see the chat while I'm looking at the slide. So I apologize if I miss anything. But we have some very exciting news here. I know there's a lot of folks who are in the Huma community who are also part of the Jupiter community and vice versa. PST is now live on Jupiter Lend. You can borrow USDC against it. PST pays something like 9 or 10% APY, if I'm not mistaken. USDC, you can borrow for 5 or 6%. You can see where I'm going with it. It's a pretty straightforward loop that is pretty excellent. It's one of our most highly requested vaults. Multiply coming soon as well, folks. But if you have a bunch of PST, as I do, you can now put that into Lend, borrow against it, and then continue to do very cool things on the other side. This is a really good one. And Anchorage Digital is in the building. Yes, Boaz is going to be talking in just a few minutes. I should also point out there are some incentives on the PST pool as well. Then a few things for all of you watching at home. New week, new Jupiter Mobile earning opportunity. The first 100 Nobody holders to import their wallet will receive $500 in Nobody. That seems pretty great. All holders who import will also qualify for a 5,000 Nobody raffle. Excuse me, sorry. Should not eat paneer tikka before the call. That's the clear takeaway on this one. So if you are a Nobody holder and you haven't yet imported into Jupiter, you definitely should do that right now. We're also going to be activating even more people for the ambassador program. This is crazy. I mean, we had something like 1,000 applications in 24 hours for people to join the Jupiter ambassador program. We're now excited to work with even more of them here. So we're going to be deploying those Jupiter ambassadors and onboarding folks. If you want to get involved with it, you can DM the uplink page on Twitter. You can DM OG, anybody else. People will be able to help get you more involved there. The Jupyverse X community continues to grow, 25,000 members in there. Thank you to everybody who's sharing their ideas and making that happen. If you haven't already, please go join that. And the Jupiter College Apathon is on. This one is very close to Joe Doe's heart, I know. You can watch the top college trading teams from around the world compete for a piece of a $20,000 prize pool. Jup.ag/Apathon-2025. If this works out, I think we'll do some more experiments like this. I don't know. We got to figure out the right way to do it, whether it's like city-based, country-based, community-based. There's probably some other fun things, but this is a cool one. And if you're in college watching this, you can get involved yourself. A little bit of love to all the cadets over in Shanghai. Accelerate APAC happened over the past week, and Ben and Sinyi from our end went over there. And just look at all these lovely people over here. The APAC community, fantastic. We will need to do more there and expect a lot more happening over there. Cindy and Tony in particular are going to be pushing the ball forward on that one. I do not speak Mandarin, so I will not be involved in all in that one, unfortunately. And last but not least, this is not a drill. We talked about this a little bit last week, but we're going to say it again right now. The next Jupyverse Summit is coming 2026 January, the end of January, probably the 30th and 31st. Just waiting for final confirmation on those dates, so don't book your flights just yet. Happening in beautiful Kuala Lumpur. Happening over here. If you're planning on coming, drop a little W in the chat for me right now, just so we can see who's going to be making their way over. I see Ferdinandov is, which is good. Girk already booked his flights. That's fine. He's going to spend a week at Gale, which is good to see. If you're planning on coming, yes, there we go. So Famesy's there. RJ Ray's going to be there. Browski's going to be there. Legolas. My guy Kavey's going to be there. What's up, Kavey? I got to say this. If you're not there, what are you even doing with your life? Stay tuned. Alicat and I will talk a little bit more about what's actually going to be planned and some of the fun things that are coming up at the end of the call on the community side. Unknown senders and L, but yeah, that's all right. Everybody else, look at all these other W's. People are really trying to get out there, which is great to see. All right, that was as fast as I possibly could have done that, and that was still like 20 minutes. So let's get into the meat of this call. That was all kind of rear-facing. Let's talk about what's happening now and going forward at this point. Jesus, the date is not yet finalized, but probably January 30th, 31st. That final weekend is what we're targeting right now. Might change a little bit based on the exact availability of the venue. But again, we'll talk about that more with Alicat towards the end of this call. Who doesn't like me? All right. Okay. Well, with that said, let me bring on our first guest of the day. It is the Partner Spotlight with Anchorage Digital. Please, it's his first time on the call. Make him feel welcome. Drop a little JM in the chat for our guy. Boys, how you doing?
Hey, Kash. Nice to meet you, man. I'm doing great.
I'm very glad to hear it. It is your first time on the call. Maybe to start off, can you tell the people a little bit about what Anchorage Digital is and what you do over there?
First, I want to send you some good vibes. I really hope you don't get food poisoning today.
Yeah,
You're probably going to jump on a plane soon, and that would not be fun.
Yeah, I got 36 hours to work this paneer out of my belly, basically.
I'm from Anchorage Digital, so there's a lot of folks on this call probably never heard of us, and that's not a surprise because we are institutional only. Anchorage is one of the largest institutional crypto platforms in the world. We are founded in 2017 to be a tech company custodian for large financial institutions who want to store crypto safely. So that means we serve folks like hedge funds, venture capital funds, large institutions, large like big banks that you've heard of. And also we serve protocols, lots and lots of different protocols. So every new protocol that wants to start up, issue their TGE, send their tokens out to investors, and get not just the retail side of the market excited about what they're doing, but also get the institutional side of the market excited about what they're doing. We help them do that. And we do it through a huge suite of products that we have. Anchorage started out as, in its core, a custodian. We're a tech company. Our founders are security engineers. I'm an engineer and the head of product at Anchorage. And we built what is essentially what we believe to be the safest digital asset custodian on the market. And on top of that, we built a digital asset custodian that doesn't just split up your keys and hide them, under a mountain somewhere so that you can't use them. We built it to be used with crypto the way that it's supposed to be used. So actually interacting on chain quickly, doing the things that you want to do with smart contracts, with Jupiter, with everything else that is actually exciting and new about crypto that isn't just hiding it away. Over time, we built a lot of different stuff, including Anchorage Digital Prime, which does trading. We have a stablecoin issuance platform, which is blowing up and very exciting.
That's right.
We have nothing we want to talk about today, which is Porto, our self-custody solution for institutions who want to do more on chain than they can do from within the perimeter of our regulated financial institution, because Anchorage also has the only federally chartered bank in digital assets. You guys have probably seen, every company on earth right now wants to have a national trust bank in the US. Anchorage has been the only company that has that charter for many years now. And so we do a lot of different stuff. And one of the things I'm most excited about that we do is help large institutions interact with DeFi, get into the ecosystem, increase liquidity, increase interaction. And one of the ways we do that is with Porto. So just now, actually, we launched an integration where users of Porto, which is our self-custody platform, can trade directly on Jupiter from within the Anchorage interface. You don't have to go to the Jupiter app anymore. You don't have to, if you don't want to, you can feel safe in the product, execute your trades, and participate. So super excited about that.
Thanks for taking the folks through. I think that you told a very compelling story. I think you're still kind of underselling people who kind of know this, certainly at the at Jupiter's level, or anyone who's kind of run a fund or knows people who are kind of talking to institutions knows that Anchorage is basically one of the, if not the number one name in the game with these custodians, as far as custodians and kind of products for institutions go. And when we talk about the institutions are coming, the hard fact of it is, the traders at whatever XYZ kind of $3 billion fund office, they're probably not going to just download the Jupiter mobile app and then trade $10 million or $50 million from their phone. It's just not a super likely thing. They have compliance, they have security requests, they have there's a whole list of things they have to do because these are real big money grown up businesses. And so for too long, I think people have kind of just assumed that they would just show up with, a Jupiter wallet or something. That's not the case. And so we need partners like Anchorage to help bring those institutions on, make them feel comfortable, and be able to make DeFi work for them, basically. And so what excites me so much about this partnership is the way in which it opens up Jupiter products to an entirely new suite of users who literally, for legal and compliance reasons, cannot otherwise use it in a very straightforward fashion. Can you tell the folks a little bit more about what kind of users or clients, I should say, you're seeing adopt the Porto product right now? What are the most interesting conversations you're having?
Yeah, of course. When we started, 8 years ago, actually 2 days ago was our 8th birthday for Anchorage. And when we started in 2017, people were excited about crypto. The institutions were excited about blockchain, but they move way slower than retail does. And there's this huge curve of adoption. So it starts with, the crypto VCs who were trying to make the ecosystem happen and fund the different projects that were, coming up. And then it moves into larger and larger companies. So we have, folks like BlackRock as our customer now, and large ETFs, and one of the most interesting things that have happened recently, which is these digital asset treasury companies, including multiple Solana digital asset treasuries that are on the market today. Along with that has been this over time acceptance of DeFi being the best place to go interact with the market, best place to go get your liquidity, best place to go get things that are on the cutting edge that are not available through the normal institutional network of trading desks and other kinds of lending desks and other kinds of activity that are available to institutions that they're used to. So one thing that we have been seeing is that these digital asset treasury companies are super excited to be very native on chain, right? If you're going to be, an Ethereum DAT, if you're going to be a Solana DAT, you don't want to do normal sort of financial things. You want to do Solana financial things. Right. And what we want to do is enable, because of our technology, we want to enable these companies to actually execute on chain in the best way possible. So that's been one really cool thing that we see. Another amazing thing that we see is these companies that are constantly trying to invest in crypto and be on the leading edge. They want to get, you talked about alpha. They want to get their alpha, right? And the alpha for institutions comes from, where's no other institution going? Where are they where is it too new or too unknown and too difficult to get past my compliance team to actually execute on? So what we have done is taken our existing bank product that all these companies are used to. It's very buttoned up. They can do everything that they need to do, and we have made an entirely self-custody version of that. That's Porto, and what it allows our customers to do is have basically both of these things, right? One place is I store my money in the bank. I can do the things that a bank can do, and then I can also easily move money back and forth between my self-custody wallet. And from my self-custody wallet, I can execute on Jupiter. I can buy into new tokens. I can find this new liquidity pool, and I can do it in the way that I'm already comfortable. At the end of the day, these institutions that seem so big and intimidating are just made up of people trying to do their job. And if their job is harder to do, they're going to be less likely to execute on one of these places that is new and foreign to them. So what Anchorage does is we do two really important things. So first is we make it seem familiar. So we put it in this framework that you already know how it works. It follows your internal policies. So it's not just you clicking buttons on a Chrome extension. It's I have to get my finance team to approve a trade. I have to execute with my operations team. I have to separate my traders and my ops and all this different stuff. We have all of those workflows built into the product already. So you can execute, on Jupiter and then settle and then do all those things that are meaningful to you from within the product as you're used to. And the second thing that we do, which is super, super critical to these institutions, because, they're not playing around with $1,000, $10,000 in their wallet. They've got millions or sometimes billions of dollars. Anchorage custodies many tens of billions of dollars of digital assets. they've got many millions of dollars in this wallet. They need to know that this is safe. I mean, they must feel like Anchorage is going to do exactly everything that we can do to make sure that they feel safe executing. So it's incredibly important to us that what you see is what you sign, that you can't be man in the middle, that you know exactly what you're executing, that we do transaction simulation. We try to make sure that everything, like your token you're using is not a compromised token. All these different checks, layers, and security features to make sure that you know that you are doing the right thing that you actually intend to do in the ecosystem. It's incredibly important for these institutions. They've got so much going on, and we really, really want to make them feel safe.
I think that's the critical kind of bridge, right? Like the technology is finally there. It took us a few years. And I think that certainly for a few years, we kind of pretended that crypto was ready for prime time when it was not. But the tech is now there. The next part after the tech is the trust. And I think that's something that Anchorage is very well suited and has been doing for many years. And I think we'll continue to move forward. As Slick says, the government and banks watching this right now, clenching their fists. That's right. Everyone getting a bunch of access to DeFi. I mean, there's a bunch of really cool things that can happen here as well. Like, Boaz, I don't even know if you and I have talked about this. Major shout out to Joe Doe and the Lend team who've been pushing this forward. But now you can actually swap directly into Jupiter Lend through the router, right? So you can take your stables, swap it into the savings product, the earnings product, earn whatever 8 to 10% yield on your stable coins, all within the router without having to connect to anything funny. And so the hope is that this partnership allows the wider scope of Jupiter products also to reach this more institutional audience and help bring them on chain. We can provide the tech, you guys provide the trust and the tech, and then together it's a pretty good thing. Sorry, the chat is calling for me to projectile vomit right now, so I got a little bit distracted. But other than that, I will say, incredibly excited about this. This is a big deal alert, folks. Crypto historically, I think the total market cap right now is 3 trillion. If you believe in a world where the crypto total market cap is at 10 trillion, 50 trillion, et cetera, the only way that you get there is by bringing in the institutions, bringing in the big money. And this partnership, I think, is going to help us make a big step in that direction on both sides. Boaz, if people want to learn more about Porto, where should they go?
Go to porto.xyz, and you can sign up. Anybody is welcome to use Porto, especially if you have your company, your startup. If you're starting a protocol, we want to talk to you. We want to help you. We can help you with Porto. We can help you open a bank account at Anchorage and store your dollars there and get yield on your stable coins. We want everybody to be able to do all the things they need to do on chain safely, so that you can focus on actually adding the value that you're trying to add to the ecosystem.
That's the goal. All right, Boaz, thanks so much for coming on, and very excited to see where the partnership goes from here.
Thanks, Kash.
Take it easy, man. Anchorage is a big name. If you now know about Anchorage, you are now consider yourself an insider, a real crypto OG, because it is a team that most of the crypto OGs will know. Please do not spam things into the chat. Sorry, Jib, you got blocked immediately. Anyway, next up, massive. Yeah, this is how we continue to grow. As my boy Arnold would say, sheesh. We're going to bring on, I don't even know if I did that right. Next up, though, we're going to talk about a brand new launch. This just happened a few hours ago. It's something that we've been talking about for a little while, and I think it is here. And in order to talk about it, we have to have the Jupiter app chef himself. Please drop a little JM for the homie, the pickleball champion of Singapore, Jojo.
JM. What's going on?
Good to have you here, brother.
Can you hear me well? Is it good?
Loud and clear. And more importantly, they can see you and they can see that limit orders are now live. Tell people about limit orders V2 and how they're different from V1.
Should I tell, or should I share screen and start doing a demo? What do you want?
Born showman. He's a born showman. Maybe let's take a look at it and we can talk as we go through it.
Yeah, there's just too much content, right? So let's go. Okay, so let's say so now
you make the screen big so people can still hear you, Joe, but yeah, they can just see the screen a little bit more clearly. Go ahead.
This is good. Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so you can access the new limit order V2 via the token page. You can also obviously access it via the swap page under here. So you will notice that this V2 will describe it a bit. For those who still want to use V1, you have the option. So a couple of features wise, let me show you in real time. So let's say you go to Uranus. What's major one that's different is you can now set the trigger by price or market cap rather than setting some like funky pool ratio.
Ooh,
So you can
yeah,
actually
very
do,
nice.
like, yeah, if you remember like V1, you actually have to like find out what's the exact ratio, right? For you to trigger at, like, for example, 55 million, you have to like guess and check this, right? All the way until you get that right magic number. Right now,
Yeah,
you
that's
can
right.
just go straight, right? So let's say you want to set at 54.5 mil, right? It's here. You can type it. You can even like use these quick buttons. You can even drag it, right? So let's say I click it to market, and you're like, okay, I want to set by a bit higher.
God damn.
It's good. It's good. So there are
That's-
multiple.
Yeah.
If I say so myself, it's really good. It's really good.
Yeah. I actually had to see that last feature myself. That is too good. So you can do it directly on the chart. You can set your limit orders then.
You can set it directly on the chart.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
So you can drag it. And I think we wanted to make the swap form like as intuitive as possible. It's like almost readable, right? Like buy Uranus when the market cap is at this price, right? Then next is how much SOL do you want to put in? Or obviously you can change this to like USDC. You can change it to any token, right? And let's say you want to put 0.1 SOL and buy this amount Uranus, right? So once you click the order, your thing goes through, right? What's easier compared to last time? So let me go to, I have some existing limit orders. Let me go to, let's say, Jup. You'll see that, I already have a limit order here. Right now, you can actually change the price without canceling your order, right? So that's another pretty big one.
Huge change. Yeah.
Right. So, and we give you flexibility for both MCAP and price, right? Because if you're trading like trench tokens, you are more familiar in terms of MCAP. If you're trading like bigger caps, like Drup, like SOL, you're obviously more familiar in terms of price, right? So now, previously I said at 40 cents. Now you want to chase, right? You see some outward momentum. You're like, okay, hey, I want to, I now want to get in at like 41 cents instead, right? So all you have to do is save edit, update, your limit order is done, right? You see this toast here, update successful. You will notice that now, this is your new limit order. You're much closer to like the current market price, right? So that's that. It's gone a lot more advanced as well. So you can now add a TP and SL on a position that hasn't even happened, right? So stay with me, right? So for example, again, now I want to buy, if let's say Jup price hits 39 cents, right? Again, I want to put this amount. You can now set that, okay, I want to take profit when Jup is 55 cents, right? And I don't want to take extra price risk. I want to put a stop loss when Jup is 35 cents, right? Expiry 7 days, place buy order, right? So we call this an advanced order. You now have this order here, right? You can hover over it. You can clearly see that this is a limit order with a TPSL like bundled in it altogether, right? So what's cool about this is one cancels the other. So I mean, this is actually like a TradFi term called like OCO. One cancels another means it's a either or, right? If it hits the TP price, your stop loss order is just cancelled, right? Vice versa, right? So it's almost like you can already set like based on your risk appetite exactly how you want your order to execute, right? So that I think is pretty neat.
Is there even more?
Good,
is there even more?
I don't know what to tell you. It's really good. It's pretty good.
It's pretty fucking good. All right, I'd never do this, but I'm gonna give financial advice for one time on this. I know it's crazy. Buy all the Joe. No. What I want to say is this: if you are trading, if you talk to like any actual kind of like smart trader, they do kind of like limit orders, right? They have points on the chart. They know kind of where they want to enter, where they kind of want to exit. If you are just kind of flying blind and you're just kind of like watching the screen all day and like waiting for the thing to hit, that's not a good way to be profitable in the long term. And it's not good for your fucking brain, honestly.
It's not a good way to live your life.
Yeah, bro, go get a girlfriend. Go touch some grass. Like with this, you can now do it all at once. This is perhaps this may be a little bit crazy for me to say, but I feel like it's just seeing this right now. This might be the biggest jump in trading execution experience on Solana in quite some time, honestly, because now you can have full strategies where you sit down, you trade smarter, and the fact that you can set stop loss and take profits as well at the same time, this really just puts all of your trading on autopilot, right? Especially the fact that it has the market cap based metrics as well. You can do it for trench coins or major coins. This is a ridiculous upgrade. And if you are trading and you're not going to use limit order V2, what are you even doing with your life? That's really all I could say. That is this one, you guys. I mean, famously, Joe Doe is the chef. He cooks quite a bit, but this one is a real scorcher of a cook, I gotta say.
Yeah, credits to the team, Yusuf, Evan, and Wei Liang. So this is really only on Solana. Like, if go and try, go to EVM then just try it. Go to your like DEXs, your DEX aggregators. None of them have this. Everyone only does pool price, right? Like, let's say you want to do like ETH to some other token like virtuals or something. You will have to always figure out that like funky price, the pool price.
Yeah.
This one straight USD, right? So I think what we're really trying to optimize here here is like not just the UX, but also sometimes when you're trading highly volatile tokens, we want to like kind of increase your chance of like getting the order through, right? So, because honestly, let's say you are trying to buy the dip at, call it like, let's say Uranus at 40 cents. Honestly, there are many users who are pretty indifferent whether it hits like, they get it in at like 39 point something or like 41 point something, right? What users are more unhappy about is if the price actually dips down and you don't actually get to hit it because for every reason, the pool there's not enough liquidity. So the whole LOV2 is actually built on top of Ultra. So all that good tech, limit order V2 gets to enjoy it, right? So we do, again, all that like slippage estimation. We try, we have optimized transaction lending, built on top of our own infra, all that good stuff on top of, so limit order gets all the good stuff of Ultra underneath. So that's another like pretty cool thing, right?
Insane. As Slick is pointing out, the DCA is being hidden here, or the orders being hidden here is also huge, especially if you're doing things at size or you know that you have some kind of standing in the ecosystem, people are watching your wallet. You can actually stay safe as well. Correct.
No one can front run you because we are, you can't check what's like someone else's limit order price on chain. LOV2 is private in that way, right? So we've changed out the architecture such that we are able to maintain your privacy, right? I think last point, additional one that you can do to touch grass, right? So you can now actually set like buy above, right? So let's say previously, if you were to set a limit buy above the market price, it would instantly like do a market buy for you. This is actually like the behavior on like some centralized exchanges as well, which kind of limits like your flexibility, because there are traders who are like, I mean, if you look at like the price callers on CT, you'll be like, okay, look, if Sol ranges at 210 and it hits 210, I'm in, right? It means the momentum is up from here, and I think you'll go up further, right? Now we allow you to buy above, right? So you can actually set this. Okay, let me cancel this.
So the use case here is basically like, if I think that it's like if I would consider XYZ price the breakout price, and I'm happy to buy and get in as it's breaking out, I don't have to be watching there to hit the second that it breaks out. I'm just like positioned and super safe.
Exactly.
Oof.
So you see now you have this, and your order just sits and waits here, only gets triggered when it touches this price, right? Yeah, that's something
so good.
we've never done before. No one else has it. I think this is really neat. Yeah.
This is how you go from, like trading on chain is fun because you get access to more assets and it's global, whatever, but like it's kind of a shittier experience, to where this is like as good, if not better, as the experience that you're going to get in like in centralized trading venues or traditional trading venues. And if we are serious about kind of like onboarding the world trading, making it safe, simple, and secure, this is the kind of innovation that we need to see. And by the way, I mean, it's for any other team, a giant trading advance of this magnitude is like, this is your main breakpoint announcement. This is just like something else that Joe and the rest of the spot team just happened to ship like over the course of the last few weeks and months. It's really, really insane. Norshow asked, do we have all the indicators on the Jup chart? I believe so. It's training view, right? So
yeah, you can add everything you want. Yeah, you just have to like set all your trading view settings. Yep, draw lines. Do whatever you want, bro.
Go wild. Yeah, this is a massive. I keep saying it because I really do believe it. But this is a huge one. You should use it. Everyone you know should use it. Can we talk about the JL token thing, or is that a little bit too much alpha for folks right now?
After you, man. You're the boss. You decide.
Oh, well, then I mean, I'm always happy to give the Planetary call faithful. I mean, we only have 4,800 people on this call right now. It's fine to do a little bit of alpha. Well, you say, I mean, it was your idea, so go for it.
Fine, fine. So you guys know gel USDC. Basically, okay, let's go into the token, right? Gel USDC is basically the tokenized representation once you create a Jup earn USDC position, right? So for example, let's go through it, right? I go to LAN, I go to USDC. You'll notice, okay, so right now I've deposited like 1 USDC. Let's say I deposit 10 more, right? Go. Once that's done, actually, if you go to GL USDC, you'll notice, hey, my balance is 10, right? So basically, when you put in, you get back GL USDC, right? What's cool is we now allow you to swap between like GL USDC and any other GL asset. So let's say I want to swap to like GL USDG, right? So let's say now I want to swap this 5 GL USDC to USDG, one click away. Crazy, right? So what actually happens underneath? You're basically unwinding the position, doing a swap, and creating a new position on LAN, right? So you look here again. Just now I didn't have a USDG position. Now I do, right? So
you
rather
can chase
than
those
like,
yields wherever they are, right?
correct, in one click. So you look at this, you're like, okay, look, this one has higher yield than USDC. Literally go to the page, one swap away, right? No slippage because it exclusively goes through Drupal to do the wind unwind, right? We've done a couple of like adjustments as well to the token page. So you will see the liquidity is like 35 mil because there's already like 35 mil in this vault. So you can clip this with like no slippage basically, right? Yep.
Pretty incredible stuff.
It's pretty cool when you combine it with Anchorage. That's super cool.
That's where things get really interesting, right? Because those guys they just cannot use Jupiter Let. It's just like a point blank period. So now they can get access to it, and so you can expect some more liquidity over there. This is one that we're really excited about. How much alpha do we want to give here? Should we give the last piece of alpha, or is it you want to save that for later?
What's the last one? I don't even know.
How do we connect these two topics we've talked about?
How do we connect these two topics we talk about?
In theory, while that USDC is resting.
Dude, you're crazy. Crazy.
All right, we're gonna end it there. We'll end it there.
Okay. Hypothetically, you've seen what we've done with limit orders V2, right? We are gonna explore having your idle positions before they trigger to be in a GL earn position instead, Juplan earn. So again, let's say you are trying to swap like, I don't know, USDC to Jupsol, right? But you only want to buy it when, for example, Jupsol is I don't know, $200, right? What we actually can do, we are exploring to do, is your USDC while it's idle then changes to JLUSDC, right? So then now you're earning 8% APY before your limit order is triggered, which is crazy, right? Literally, you're getting
truly
paid
unbelievable.
to open a limit order. It's crazy.
That is not live, folks. That is alpha that I forced Joe. It's something that we've talked about behind the scenes, but I'm just like so fucking excited about it because it's yet another way that you can see the composability of DeFi outperforming anything else that's out there, and the full breadth of the Jupiter Super App product suite reinforcing it, right? Someone else might be able to build trigger orders, but they're not going to be able to do it in the same way that we can do it, where you also get yield on the back of it because we have the same product suite, right? Again, that's not live right now. It's something that we're exploring. I just think it's super cool. Even if that never fucking happens, there's more than enough in limit order V2 to be incredibly excited about. I mean, again, just to run through it very, very quickly. It's private, so you can't get front ran, which is really great. You can do it directly on the chart. You have stop loss as well as take profit. You have OCO, so you can actually have a bunch of different like kind of configurations. You don't have to do like the weird calculation of math. You just put in the US dollar price, either for the price or the market cap. You do it directly on the chart. You can have a breakout buy if you wanted to do it. And God, there's probably some more that I'm missing there. Massive update. Every single person should trade using limit orders V2. That's just the basic fact. Joe, any last things that you want to say here before you jump?
Yeah, we left you the option for V1 as well. If you still prefer the other one, you are comfortable setting pool price. We highly recommend use V2 because it has all the good tech. But if you really must and you are really prioritizing for an exact output amount, let's say for tax reasons or whatever, we've left V1 so that you can still use it, right? So yeah, with that, I still recommend you to use V2, but let's go.
Yeah,
Try it.
V2 is it's fucking crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Anything wrong, hit me up, tag me on Twitter, and the team will figure it out.
Absolutely. Joe Doe, thank you very much for cooking up a storm on this one. It was great to have you, as always, my friend.
Ciao.
See you later, brother. Woo! Woo! Get a little W in the chat for that one right there. My God. That is a scorcher of an update. Jesus Christ. Thank you, for your time, Joe. We're going to go next to another scorcher of an update. This is one dimension of Jupiter that I am personally incredibly excited and bullish on. And there's a man who's got 16 jobs within Jupiter who's been pushing it forward. Let's see. Does he have the earrings in? Please drop a little jam in the chat. Julian is here. Julian, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Kash, everybody. Thanks for having me again.
Oh, dude, you had an open invite. Yes. Star Dev behind Jupiter Perps, JLP, Prediction Markets, and 17 other redacted projects. That is true. This is the man who does not sleep. And lately, he's been staying up thinking about prediction markets. Can you talk to the people a little bit about how the first pilot went and kind of how the build process has gone so far?
Yeah, so the first pilot we went with the F1 market. It was pretty good. I think we had close to about 1,005 users trading it. And so before I actually talk about it, I just want to give a shout out to the team. There's a few people here, like Chew256, very sad cat who's involved like in the project as well, aside from me. And also to the Kash team. So Kash has actually been helping us a lot to like do this. Just for context, when we started this project, like I think less than a month ago, there was like nothing on chain. Like even Kash has nothing on chain, but they've been nothing but helpful to help us like unblock a lot of things to get it started. So shout out to the Kash team for getting this to work. But yeah, the first market was like pretty fun. I think a lot of people tried it out and they liked it. So this week we added 6 more, and we especially focused a lot on like the sports betting, because I think a lot of people actually like sports betting and it's pretty big. I think it'll be a big focus for us moving forward. Like we're probably gonna have like category with just for sports betting. But yeah, in the future, like you say, Kash, like you want to bet on you having food poisoning, like you want to do that, you want to have like something like more fun in the future. But yeah, right now we're just in the beta stage, and I hope that you guys have been trying it and liking it. So yeah, that's the summary of what's going on right now.
Norsho says, can you team up with the UFC for fight predictions? We are definitely going to have UFC markets on. I think the next fight is in 2 weeks or something like that.
It's like 2-2, right?
Something like that. I think Islam is fighting, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, we're going to have it.
I don't know. Yeah, we will definitely have that one. We definitely need one for how long the planetary call is going to be, Bork. That's for sure, every time. Market making liquidity can be a little bit tricky on those kind of niche markets, but we're going to continue to get there. So, the product works right now. I've used it. I've lost some money on it last week. Hopefully I'll make some money on it this week. It's very smooth. Can you talk a little bit about the roadmap? Obviously, we're kind of going slow in order to go fast later on. What is the vision for prediction markets on Jupiter?
So right now, I think the biggest thing is that, I mean, like one of the chatters just said, like, can we have UFC markets? Right now, we are just listing markets that we think is interesting, and we'll just add it. But I think the future is something where we don't have to do all these things by ourselves. Like we have like all the markets on Jupiter, and it doesn't have to be necessarily from like certain provider. It can be like from like I said, if someone wants to come up with a fun market, right? Someone can just build it, provide liquidity for it, and we'll have it on Jupiter. So the ideal goal is that just like how we aggregate everything on swaps, we want to aggregate everything on prediction markets on Jupiter so that you can use it on Solana, right? So that's the goal that we eventually gonna work towards too. And secondly, I think there's a lot of things to improve in terms of like the UI and like UX. Like the beta is good, it's smooth, but I think there's a lot of room to improve. I think one thing that we want to move forward to is that right now the flow is you create an order and then we execute order on chain. But I think we want to move to a system similar to like what you see on all exchanges today, like on Hyperliquid or like any other platform, where you just deposit some amount of cash, and then we will, you can use the money to bet on anything. And like you said just now about JLUSD, right? The cash that you deposit in can earn yield as well. So your cash is not just sitting there for free. So I think there's a lot of things that we can experiment with and expect a lot of changes to like prediction markets. Like what you see today may not be the same like next month. So internally we're treating this as like kind of like a playground. We're just gonna change everything, and things might break or you might not like it, but that is for you guys to tell us. If you like it, if you don't like it, just tell us and we'll change it. we are going to do a lot of changes to prediction markets. But one thing's for sure is that we're going to have more markets in the future.
And the order book is coming up in the UI as well, right? I know a few of our whales had a few of the Jup whales had talked about wanting to see that as well.
We're going to add that tomorrow.
Well, I forget if that was Absolute or Brandon or who asked for that, but that was for you guys. You asked for it.
Yeah.
It's there 2 days later. Basically, these guys don't sleep. It's pretty incredible. Like, I mean, you've been kind of like deep on the tech side of it, as on obviously on the product side as well. What do you think is the kind of like scope of prediction markets going forward? Obviously, it's a very hot narrative right now. I know that you and the team have been working on this for a little while, like before it was like a super hot on-chain narrative. But like, where do you think prediction markets as a whole go from here, even outside of just Jupiter itself?
I think the biggest thing is that, obviously, it's just my opinion, but I think prediction markets there's a reason why it's big, right? It's just like, I guess it's like a total change to how people see prediction markets. Like before, people thought like, no, this is like something novel. It's doesn't make sense. But you can see, markets like Kash, Polymarket nowadays, they're dominating the news like every day about prediction markets. Like I think it's ingrained into like society now, and I think the natural next step is for these to go on chain. So I think like one of the big reasons why Kash went with this is because they feel that the next step for prediction markets is to go from something just like crypto, like something that people just laugh about, to something serious. And then now they want to bring the on-chain liquidity, because I think on-chain there's a lot of people who wants to trade prediction markets, right? But right now they can do it, but we can make it easier for them. So that's where we come in. And I think that eventually, I think there'll be a lot of markets I honestly think in the future, prediction markets will mostly be on-chain, in my opinion.
That's what.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think it will mostly be on-chain. So that's where Jupiter comes in. That's where we want to be, and that's what we want to do for like Kash, and also like for everyone on Jupiter. Yep.
No matter I think that as capitalism continues to evolve, especially in what the philosophers might call late stage capitalism, everything gets financialized, and much opinions as well, and wants to financialize those opinions, whether it's for entertainment value, whether it's for profit because they actually have extra knowledge about whatever macroeconomics or global economies or sports itself. I think this is really like the new frontier of a new type of asset fundamentally that has a lot more space to grow, because this is something listen, I think I love the curveball, I love Kirby. It's hard for me to explain to my brother who works at Google, hey, it's like a Kirby that's kind of like coming on stuff and it's funny, and like it's a weird thing to explain, but it's very easy to explain to him, like, hey, you have a view on the election. This is a place where you can start to monetize that knowledge, and so on and so forth. So I feel like the TAM for prediction markets is just huge. And as Jupiter is the kind of consumer face of DeFi, and as we're looking to bring more people into using on-chain technologies, this seems like a really fantastic growth area for us. So I'm incredibly bullish. But Julian, there was a question for you in the chat that I just saw. How much sleep do you and the team actually get, given all the stuff that's doing? And isn't it like midnight right now for you as well?
Yeah. Enough. If it's not enough, we won't be here.
The truth is that Julian has another twin named Shmulian, or named Julian, excuse me, as Italo would say. And then, and so Julian works while Julian sleeps, and then Julian works while Julian sleeps. That's the way that it goes. Any last things to tell people about prediction markets here, Julian?
Nothing much. I think we covered everything. Like I said, expect like a lot of changes, and thank you to the people who tried. You guys can still try it with the 6 markets, and just let us know. Like as usual, we're always on Discord, Twitter. If you don't like anything, if you like things, or you just have anything to suggest, like Kash said, someone wanted an audiobook, it's like we do it tomorrow. Like obviously we can't do everything tomorrow, but we're trying to do it like fast. Yeah.
That's right. And if you want to learn a little bit more about prediction markets, Julian, AG, and the homie Alley Cat are going to be doing as a part of the DeFi series next Wednesday, same time as this call, on the main handle Twitter. So they'll go deep into it there. Until then, Julian, thanks for coming out, brother. Always great to see you.
All right. Thank you, Kash. Thank you, everybody.
Whew. You would think that this would be enough alpha for one call. And yes, we are at the hour mark, but I warned you in advance, in fairness, that this one was going to go long because we got a lot of shit to talk through. Upcoming right now, we're going to bring YK on to talk about DTF and announce for the first time ever who the first ICO on Jupiter is going to be. It's bullish. Then we're going to talk about burning the Litterbox and the vote that's going to happen tomorrow. Potentially bullish, interesting at least. And then we're going to talk about the community reset and what changes that are coming to all of you who are watching this in the Jupiter community and how we start to 100x this space. That's still to come. My God. Cancel your plans, hire a babysitter. We got a lot more to go through. First and foremost, let's drop a little bit of alpha on the people. He's a lawyer by trade, but he's a real tradesman by law. That intro didn't make any sense. One of my favorite people in the company, YK. How you doing, brother? YK is on a cruise right now. He's stepped away from it. The reason it's dark is I think that his family is sleeping in the background. There we go. Yo, what's up, YK? How you doing, man?
So I'm trying to use a touchpad and unmute myself. Brilliant, actually. And, you know, it's also quite nice that you're not asking me about the studio launchpad, you know, because the tech has improved by 3x in the last 5 days. I'm not sure if you've noticed. Huge technological advancement.
I have noticed. The number of people yelling at me has gone down by 5x. So that means that the tech has gotten much better. Yes.
The tech has gotten so much better in the last 3 to 5 days.
Well, Wasi Lawyer is over here. How to win. Fuck. For people who maybe missed it, let's talk a little bit about DTFs and how they fit into this ICO landscape.
A bit of a quick recap. I think we've sort of come through this before, so this is not the alpha bit because, you know, we're just sort of running through the features again. Essentially with DTF, it's going to have, you know, potentially multiple pre-sale rounds. You know, the project itself would pick, you know, its community to provide whitelist to, you know, the Jup stakers would get some of the allocation, and then there's a public sale round. And essentially it's a fixed price, first come, first serve allocation within the round. There are a few, this actually kind of goes back to the initial ICO days. There's been a few different mechanisms going around a lot recently, right? You know, for instance, when they give you like pro rata, you oversubscribe and they refund you money. And actually our smart contract can do that, but we're sort of choosing not to do it for now. One reason for that actually is because it kind of allows whales to kind of game it. So if you kind of create like, oh, you have 24 hours to deposit, what happens is like, if the whales think that this thing is going to sell out, they just basically slam in $10 million at the end, and then they're going to get refunded $9 million. And the people who actually bet on it at the start, kind of like invested at the start, kind of get like minuscule allocations. So essentially, first come first serve is actually still kind of like the fairest way to do allocations, in my view. You do a maximum allocations.
This is very different than other. This is like fundamentally different, just at a purely functional level, from the other ICO launchpads that are on Solana right now, right?
Functionally, very, very different. It kind of really goes back to the good old days of I believe in the project, I buy into it. It's not really this like insane like game theory thing of like I wait till like it fills up and wait till like the last hour and then I basically go borrow a crap ton of money and slam $20 million in because I know I'm gonna get $18 million back or $19,500,000 back, and I just get this massive allocation in like an oversubscribed round. It's not that. It's kind of like you believe in it, buy it. If you don't believe in it, you might not be able to buy it later on. So it's pretty straightforward, to be honest. It's also quite different from a lot of these other products that are in the market and that have been in the market for a while, and they have their own role. So there are a lot of ICO products, you know, like Echo or Kaito and so on, but they're not really true ICO products. They're kind of more like you can invest alongside other investors, alongside VCs kind of product. Because in DTF's case, the token goes live for trading immediately after. You know, what the pre-sale happens, the pre-sale closes, it sells out, and then the token gets put in a immediate liquidity pool as trading, which is actually quite different from some of these other, I call them kind of like syndication products, where essentially they're saying, hey, you know, you get to invest in at $100 million valuation. It's the same as like the previous round, Dragonfly, whoever, yada, yada. And when the token launch, you know, it might be like in 6 months, it might be in a year, it might be never. When that happens, and then you get like X amount of tokens, and then you get like a vesting afterwards. We're kind of taking that out, right? It's like the moment the sale happens, token goes up. So that's kind of like
when the sale is completed, you mean?
Yeah. So and one thing that we're very, very proud of actually is this the tokenomics, and this is kind of one of the first things that me and Meow discussed even before I joined Jupiter. It's one of the first things we talked about.
It's one of the things that brought you to Jupiter, if I'm not mistaken,
it's
right?
one of the things that brought me to Jupiter, interestingly enough, is the tokenomics being very verifiable and lockups being enforced on chain. Because when you see it, it's like every single project has this like allocation is like for the team, and this is for community, and this ecosystem, and this foundation. And at the end of the day, everyone just memes and goes like, yeah, that's all the team. Because you don't really have any visibility over it. When they go like 10% in the foundation, you're like, all right, cool. It's just sitting.
Wait, hold on. You're saying that pie chart is not legally binding? That people might be doing shenanigans behind the scenes, and those are just like little graphics that they put on Twitter?
Yeah, a lot of the scams that happen in the space just comes down from complete lack of transparency. Like I go like, yeah, this is the foundation allocation, and it's meant to be for like ecosystem, but it's sitting in the same wallet on like Coinbase or Anchorage. In other words, you can't even see it. And then, founders that OTCing out of it, and you just never see any of it. So one of the things that we kept a lot about is that if you say that 10% is going to unlock over 4 years, cool. Put it on chain and lock it up on chain so everyone can see where it goes. And look, if you're going to take the tokens and buy, transparent about it. So that's kind of what DTF is really about. It's about ensuring that the rules of the game are fair. That when people come and buy a token, they know that if the tokens are going to be locked by the team, they're actually locked by the team, and they're actually sitting right there, and you can look at it. So, yeah, that's the sort of recap of the
So
features.
it's an improvement. It's an improvement in the economic model, right? This first come first serve dynamic instead of this like ridiculous over allocation that just ends up being whales playing fuck around games. So there's an economic improvement on it. There's a transparency improvement that happens here that actually is good, net good for the entire space rather than as well as for investors as well. And then there's this kind of product level improvement of this multiple pre-sales, which you can allocate to individual groups. So there's ICOs are obviously very popular right now in the kind of meta, but as you just heard, YK has been thinking about this for at least 5 months, longer before he even joined Jupiter, and then certainly before he actually got working on this product. This is something we've been thinking about for a long time, but how would we do ICOs in a way that actually is meaningful and interesting? This is not trend chasing. This is yabai as fuck, as Yabai would say. I know we have a few little demo preview screenshots. I'll just pull these up. Here. Oh, dry. How interesting. Do you want to talk through this?
I have no idea why people prepare it quite dry. I certainly wouldn't launch a token dry. But in any case, this is just a sample of the UI and UX. It sort of shows this is kind of like the commitment screen where you sort of put in, the amount of USDC you want to commit. You commit to it. Funds just goes on the contract. The moment it's hit, the tokens get released to you, subject to any vesting schedules. So it's quite straightforward. It's pretty sleek. It's actually the next one that I quite like, to be honest. If you go to like the next
this one right here,
bit.
Yeah,
this bit, yeah, I actually love this. I kind of like put it on here, even though it's kind of not very exciting, because you actually kind of see the different bits. People are going to be very used to this sort of pie chart breakdown, right? Oh yeah, this is what goes to X, Y, and Z. But if you're looking down below, you actually see what the vesting schedule is, and here is the smart contract. Here's the wallet address that the tokens are going to, and you basically will have a link to Jup lock as well. So you see these tokens actually being locked up on chain. So that's the bit for transparency.
It's pretty good. I think we need for this space to evolve as a whole. We have to move past the trust me bro era into the you trust but verify. You actually see it there on chain, and as usual, Jupiter leading the way over here. So incredibly excited for this one to come up. Should we talk about it here? You want me to tell? Should we tell the people what the first DTF project is?
Yeah, I think it's gonna get people a bit wet. I'll let you do it, Kash.
everything like it is either Uranus, is this, that, the other thing. He's he's got a dirty mind, this guy. But indeed, the first Jupiter DTF, the first ICO happening on Jupiter, is confirmed, and it is none other. Well, here's the hint for people in the chat that want to try to guess. I wonder what all these animals have in common. Well, they all do like to get wet, except for a dragon. I'm not sure how a dragon ended up on this. But the answer, my friends, the very first ICO on the DTF platform on Jupiter is going to be Humidify, ladies and gentlemen. The ticker is WET, launching very soon. For people who don't know about Humidify, let me put you on a little game. This is like genuine, real alpha right now, right? This stat is going to blow your goddamn mind. Humidify is doing 35 to 40% of all volume on Solana right now. All on-chain DEX volume is happening through these guys. They are massive. And the reason you might not have heard of them as often as you would have heard of other great projects like Meteora and others is because they are what's called a prop AMM, a proprietary AMM, sometimes called a dark AMM as well. And the idea is that by having this fully on-chain kind of market maker, they're able to optimize their compute units, optimize their Oracle updates, and so on to offer tighter spreads to regular traders with their own capital. That's why it's called proprietary, right? It's like their own prop capital rather than an AMM, which anyone is kind of depositing into. These prop AMMs have been arguably the most significant change in on-chain market microstructure that crypto has seen in years. And as always, Solana was leading the way, right? So this kind of started, it was born on Solana. and then it moved, and now you're seeing it on EVMs and other places, because it is what allows people on chain to trade at size with prices that are, if not comparable, sometimes even better than what you can get on centralized exchanges, right? A year ago, doing $1 million transaction for Sol, kind of difficult, right? And so if you're trying to buy, $50 million because you're a big fund, you really don't have much of an option besides to go to Binance or Coinbase or something else like that. Because of the prop AMMs, you can now do this directly on chain. And these prop AMMs have no front end. They integrate into Jupiter, and then Jupiter can route them the flow so that you, at the end of the day, get a better price. The craziest thing about Humidify, and there are many crazy things, but the craziest thing about them, the whole project, I think they launched like 4.5 months ago. So 5 months ago, they were doing 0% of all Solana volume. And in 5 months, they're now doing 1/3 of all volume on Solana. That is a huge, huge deal and a huge growth curve. This is how we get real traders and eventually even institutions who are like trading institutions to come directly on chain by actually beating the things that they can get on Binance and elsewhere. Massive, massive deal. A narrative that is quickly catching fire. If you know kind of thing. But this is what's pushing Solana forward. This is what's pushing all of being on chain forward. And by the way, it's pushing Jupiter forward as well, because they're integrated into Jupiter and you get the best prices when you're working with these guys. You can give them a little duet over at Humidify for some more details as well. Wasi, you want to talk a little bit more about Humidify as well? What do you think of these guys?
They're a lot of fun. I've spoken to it a few times. They're a lot of fun. Absolutely is the case that I wanted to launch a token called WET on DTF. I think it's very fitting. So I actually kind of look forward to seeing what the token's going to be.
The memes kind of write themselves here. Like get wet. If you're DTF, come get wet. Like that's someone do that with Case Face, and I will repost.
You guys do know that Meow got me here not because I'm a lawyer, because he met me at a stand-up comedy show. So
it's mostly sexual-based puns that you're after, I suppose. But Wettember, so it will not be in October because there's only a few days left in October. Likely going to be sometime in November. The exact date is not yet lined up. But should be before Breakpoint is our pretty clear expectation here. Drop a little duet in the chat if you're excited about this. This is going to be a big one, folks. I'm going to tell you this right now. Solana is worth $100 billion. Humidify does 35% of all volume. So, I'm not great at math, but they should be worth $35 billion, I guess.
Not legal or financial advice.
That is a joke, by the way. Yeah, no. I just try to push into people's minds just how big of a deal these guys are and how under the radar they are. That's why I really wanted to frame this as alpha, because this is like a thing of if you know, you know. And if you are active on Solana or if you're active in the Jupiter community, you got to know about these guys because they are not fucking around. Absolutely. Let's see. I'm just checking in the chat. I see a lot of duet. And then here's the last little. So first thing, Jupe stakers are going to eat. There will be a pre-sale exclusive to the Jupe stakers. So if you have your Jupe staked, you'll be able to get in at a discounted price. Good for you. And hopefully we'll be able to do that for all DTF launches going forward. And a little bit more of an alpha drop. Join their Discord. If you're watching this right now, we got 6,751 people on this according to my little stats dashboard here. Go join the Humidify Discord. I can't tell you why. It's not legal, financial, or social advice, as Wasi Lawyer says, but I'm telling you that you probably should do that. That's going to be a good decision that you're going to look back fondly on right now as well. Fat says, how many minimum Jupe stake will be eligible? We're not sure yet. I do think it'll probably be north of 1,000 would be my guess, just because we have so many stakers, but we'll figure it out as we get closer to the time. So no firm thing there. What's the difference between this and TGE? Says Mr. Classy. This is a TGE. This is a way to do your token generation event with the community by offering them this kind of pre-sale access before the token goes live with increased transparency so that people really know what they're getting out of the transaction. Other questions?
You've got to mention one thing. This actually is an initial coin offering in every sense of the word, because Humidify has no investors. This is the first.
Also true. And also very bullish. As coming from a company that also has no investors, I think that not having investors makes your life a lot easier on the long-term decision-making. It obviously reduces the amount of kind of third parties who are taking profit in the early days. And it's honestly just a very impressive feat. If you need to get conviction on a team, the bootstrap teams that can end up doing many billions of dollars in volume, those are probably good teams to bet on in the long run here. Suit Up Design said, if it's first come first serve, what will you do against the inevitable site crashes? That's a good question.
Good question. We should test the site.
We'll talk to Italo. Italo and our infra team are going to be on top. That's their problem. YK is doing the product side, and I just yap, The Discord link, maybe I think that I saw the Humidify gang in the chat. If somebody can drop that in there. If they don't, you can find it on their Twitter page as well. By the way, the Twitter page has been on fire lately. It's been very funny and fun to watch. What a wonderful day. Wet is the ticker. Get ready for it. Get ready to get wet. We have some good things coming. First ICO on the Jupiter platform. Big deal alert. I promise you that. YK. Oh, there's no link on the Twitter page. Where is the folks from the community? If you can drop the Discord link in here. If it's not, go follow them on Twitter, and I can promise you it'll be on there very soon. If it's not already been posted, I think they're doing some kind of invite thing right now. But yeah, those guys and girls, don't mess around. YK, any last words about WET or DTF?
Not really, actually. I think the alpha is that they have no other investors. I'm actually very excited about that. It's been a long time since you had a token launch and goes like, this is the first time we're taking any capital whatsoever. There is no somewhat of a discount. I can't even fucking remember. I can't remember.
It's been a minute. Oh, Humidify. Look at these guys. See, that they don't fuck around. They're not just handing out the Discord. You must earn the Discord invite. Oh, shout out to my guy Squid. Very bullish ICO. Gotta say, looking forward to getting wet, says AG. This is absolutely
I'm not even in the Discord. I got to get myself in there somehow.
I'm not either, actually. Actually, the Humidify. I'll let your boy out here. I'm out here glazing and all that in front of thousands of people. I think that probably earns it, right? Go follow them on Twitter. When the Discord competition comes out, make sure that you try to get on top of it. And more importantly, go read a little bit about prop AMMs. I've talked about this many times on ecosystem calls and elsewhere because I think that it is genuinely a gigantic deal. Market microstructure, when we talk about that, we just mean how are trades actually executed? How do the buys and sells happen? Any good market must have good microstructure, right? Because there is no market if there are not trades and buys and sells happening, right? And prop AMMs are a major factor in how we push the entire space forward, major technological improvement, and Humidify is number one by a pretty good chunk right now. They are leading the way. This is a big deal alert. All right, people just saying Joette in the chat repeatedly. That probably means it's about time for us.
We should actually build functionality into DTF down the line where you basically take a test in order to get allocation. It'd be quite interesting.
Oh, that's actually fun. Yeah. Or even you can imagine a little questing component of it as well.
Yeah, maybe.
Very fun. Maybe. So basically they are all right. Well, I think this has been great. YK, thank you for coming on from the cruise. And folks, drop a little W in the chat if you're as excited about Humidify as I am. I think this is going to be a really important one for all of Solana, for the space, and certainly for the Jupiter faithful. Yeah, stay hydrated, folks. Drop that W. YK, thank you very much. Go back to your family. I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace, bye. Bye. All right. Woof. Big news after big news. My God. I cannot even breathe after this. All right. Humidify, go get wet. You're going to see a lot more from them. I can promise you that. Let's talk about the vote that's coming up tomorrow. And we're going to final segment around the community reset. Don't go anywhere. It's going to affect you directly if you're watching this call. I can promise you that. First, I wanted to do Kash. I'm tired of winning. You and me both, dude. I'm also very tired of winning. I want to do a little quick wrap up. We've talked about this burning the Litterbox vote in my post about a fresh start 2 or 3 weeks ago. We talked about it in the token holder report. We talked about it in the Planetary call. We talked about it a little bit before. But so here's the kind of canonical wrap up of what we're doing here, right? 50% of Jupiter's on-chain revenue programmatically gets sent to the Litterbox Trust. The Litterbox Trust then programmatically buys Jup on the open market and has been doing this over the last 6, 7, 8 months. And the reason that we do this, or the reason that this whole system was created, was 1, as a response to token holders who we care about deeply. This is their feedback. And 2, for alignment. The idea was to ensure that there was a tight alignment loop between Jupiter, the protocols that are being used by people all around the world, and the Jup token, right? And what we wanted to create was this kind of dynamic where Jupiter token holders had a clear and obvious reason to go and preach about the Jupiter product suite, right? And so we brought these two things into alignment in a really important way. However, we've been listening to the Jup token holders, especially over the last few months, and many of them have expressed concerns. And I think honestly, these concerns make a lot of sense. They say, hey, we're looking at the price action, and we're token holders, we care about the price action, and we fear that the uncertainty around the litter box is actually holding and pushing people away. And if we could solve that problem, wouldn't that invite more people in and so on? The markets in general do not like uncertainty. They don't like ambiguity. They like to know this is going to happen, then this is going to happen, then this is going to happen. And by having all of this Jup kind of continuously grow inside of the litter box, are we creating more uncertainty that's turning the market off? And I think that's a fairly credible argument, quite honestly. And that's why we want to hold a series of 2 votes. The first vote is, what should we do with the existing holdings? There's about 129 million Jup as of right now. By the time the vote is done, it'll probably be like 131 million or something like that, which is about 4% of the entire circulating supply of Jup is right there. Previously, we had said that, hey, we'll decide in 2 years what to do, and maybe it gets emitted, maybe it gets given out. Who knows what actually happens to it? But that's a conversation for a later day. Said we're going to bring that conversation forward and have a very simple vote. Should we burn it? Should we not burn it? If we don't burn it, then we can have a conversation about what to do with it later. But should we burn it? Should we not burn it? The second vote that will come up after this will be what to do with the ongoing 50% of revenues that go to the Litterbox Trust. And there we can get a little bit more creative. I know I've already heard people talking about this first vote. Thank you to everyone who's talking in the discussion forums. We see every single one of those. People have been like, oh, hey, I don't want to burn all of it. Maybe we burn 50% and we allocate X over here and use this for growth incentives and whatever else. All that's well and good. That's a conversation for the second vote with the ongoing. The first vote was this Jup was purchased under a particular premise. It's already been purchased. So we want to keep this as simple and clean as possible. And the overwhelming feedback has been just put up a vote whether to burn it or not. The second vote happening later in November will be on what to do with the ongoing. So the vote itself is going to start tomorrow, Thursday, October 30th at 3:30 p.m. UTC. It'll go on for 4 days. So it'll go until Sunday. So you're going to have time to vote. There'll be an ample discussion. We're going to try to hold a Twitter space as well, but we are learning from our mistakes of the past. Right? One of the other things that Jup token holders have not been, one of the other things that Jup token holders have kind of complained about in the past or pointed at as a reason why Jup has not been able to get more adoption and kind of more energy and vibe behind it is too much talk of the politics, too much talk of the DAO, not enough talk of the products. And when we're shipping shit like prediction markets and DTF and limit orders V2, we do want to keep the conversation there. So we're going to have conversations about the DAO stuff. It's not going to be the dominant focus, but we will be sending an email out. So anyone that's registered for the email list, if you haven't, you should go register for it as well, vote.jup.ag. You'll get a notification. It'll be on the website. You'll get a push notification, and we'll talk about it on Twitter. So we should have ample ways to get the word out. And we are excited to hear what people have to say about it. One important note, I actually can't, I'm on my laptop, so I can't see the chat at the same time that I do this as I'm talking right now. But one thing that I'm guessing has been in the chat is, what about ASR? So just to clear this up, ASR for Q4 is going to be time-weighted stake. That's what we said 3 or 4 months ago when we paused the DAO in the first place. We want to honor that commitment because some people might have gotten Jup and staked it under that assumption who were not prepared for it. Maybe they have it, their Jup is on a ledger and it's in a bank vault somewhere and they can't actually access it, for example. So ASR is not going to be affected by this vote. You will get ASR based on your time-weighted stake, whether you vote or not. And the interesting thing is going to be to see how many people actually come out and vote, knowing that there's not a kind of financial motivation to do so. Be very interesting to see. But that is all on that real quick. Let me just quickly look at the chat and see if I have any questions in here. What about dead? My precious Jup. Oh, Frogwa said carrots. Yes. So carrots, for those of you who don't know, 200 million Jup was set aside in this past Jupiary for carrots, which were growth incentives for the products and for the community. We have not yet deployed those carrots. And the truth is, we're probably not going to deploy them in the short term. Again, we listened to the token holders, and the token holders have been very clear. Do not put more Jup onto the market until the vibe shift is complete, until we're starting to move much more upwards, right? Let's kind of get through this trial first, and then let's start to do some potential more emissions. And we take token holders very seriously over here at Jupiter. And so those carrots are not going to be distributed in the short term. Those tokens are still there. They will be used for growth at some point. I just can't promise you exactly when. We haven't figured that out directly. So there you go. Lots of W's in the chat. Details on Jupiter for 2026 will probably come out in the next few weeks. Don't have any details for you right now, unfortunately. Ronman, I just talked about when carrots. Please do just rewatch, go back a few minutes, and that would be great. The change of stake duration will happen after the vote concludes. So, that's a little bit more than a week or so away from today. That'll be roughly when that's going to happen. Update, which was a little bit, trickier, really straightforward. Trying to see if there's any other questions. Wilson said the 30% burn last year did feck all, think intelligent, use Litterbox to generate returns. Also, an interesting point. I will say one difference with the cat stand bowl burn is that was Jupe that was not yet in circulating supply. And I do think that burning some Jupe that is not yet hit the market versus Jupe that's already hit the market is a bit of a different, both narratively and kind of functionally. So my own 2 cents on that. But reasonable minds can differ on this for sure. I don't think that there's a clear thing. Okay, cool. When no abstain vote, since it doesn't impact ASR, correct, Scarlett. Finally, people who know me know I fucking hate abstain. I'm glad that we're not going to have it. This is just going to be a very simple, straightforward kind of vote. Okay, cool. If other folks, Giancarlo says focus on product onboarding institutions, that's good. Will we have Jupe LPs soon, says RPM? I don't know what that means, unfortunately. But in general, that is what's going to happen on the vote. So come back tomorrow. You'll see it vote.jupe.ag. If you have some Jupe and you haven't staked it yet, you can stake it right now and you will be eligible to vote tomorrow as well. So I encourage you to do that. Mas John, who said, which side am I on? Well, that's a good question. I'm of kind of 2 minds. I think ultimately at this point, based on the conversations that I've had with a lot of our holders, both in the community and kind of like larger scale holders, I've seen repeatedly the request for burning as like the only way to kind of give them the certainty that they want. And I talked about this a little while ago, this idea of treating Jupe a little bit like a product. And when we build products, we're very responsive to feedback. That's kind of like a core part. We have very strong intuitions on what the products should be and how they should look, and then we iterate them based on feedback. I think that Jupe has a similar kind of future where we have a pretty strong view on what Jupe should be, what it should represent, et cetera. But there's always rooms for kind of improvement. And taking on that feedback, I do think that burning the existing holdings is the best bet. I would, for the ongoings, I think that we should really be reinvesting it in growth. I think it's maybe a little bit premature, but that's going to be a larger conversation that a lot of folks in the community will come in, and my mind might change about that as well. Yeah, that's my general opinion. Okay, we've kept him waiting long enough. I see him adjusting his red sunglasses behind the scenes. So let's bring him up right now. Please drop a little JM for our guy, Ali Cat, here to talk a big one about the community reset. Ali Cat, how you doing, my guy?
Cash, these aren't sunglasses. These are like prescription. No, they're like prescription, light prescription. But this is the thing. I was so excited that we decided where we're going to do Cat Stamble 2.0 that I had to go to the local place and get some frames with some cats in there. So that's what I'm excited. I'm so excited about it.
Before we talk about the community reset, let's talk a little bit about Kuala Lumpur and the Jupyverse Summit. What you got cooking, brother? What do you think is what's getting you excited about it?
So it's a tough act to follow with the great Xi'an, but who's going to be working on some other stuff. But Jupe Aggregate and NYC was a success, so we're going to take some of that, bring a little flavor. The first Cat Stamble was a tough act to follow, but we have a venue that I'm not going to actually reveal that is brand new. It is a banger. It's unbelievable. When you guys see it, it's just something amazing. To be able to get a brand new venue like that in Kuala Lumpur, in the city center, it's going to be amazing. Besides that, dates. Can I mention the dates? We kind of booked it, Cash.
Is it fully booked? I've been on a plane all day, folks, so I haven't actually.
Just blame me. How about this? You could blame me.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
January 31st, 2026, Saturday. That will be the official first day of Kuala Lumpur Jupyverse Summit.
Well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe we'll do a little something the night before. Pre-party.
And day 2 on Sunday.
And then day 2 on Sunday. And whoever wants to stay a little extra, whoever wants to come for a week before, just keep in mind it's going to be about, it's going to be nice and warm in late January in Kuala Lumpur.
That's the beautiful part of it. Yeah, the weather in Malaysia is gorgeous there. And Mo's my baby due date. Cool. Is that true, Mo? We're gonna have to. We will build a hospital in Kuala Lumpur just for you and your wife, so that you can have it happen there. We're gonna have I think we're gonna do a bunch of fun stuff as well. I know none of this is yet confirmed, but pickleball and paddle tournaments, maybe some go-kart racing tournaments, definitely some parties, members of the community talking. They're going to hopefully do another unconference, and obviously a bunch of announcements and possibly some launches. I'll just say that much. You're definitely going to want to be there. Let me just promise you that. That is
Visa
going to be
restrictions
cool.
are going to be a lot more relaxed, obviously, and
That's right.
it's going to be a tough act to follow with that cat burning. But I think we have something up our sleeves for that. Should be
I
epic.
think we just might. OG says poker, please. Yeah, we might do a poker tournament. That could be super fun. A lot of good stuff that's going to come out. So definitely make it out there. And if you have ideas on what should happen, please send them to the homie, to Alley Cat. He's
Send
going to
them.
be running the community end of things over here. How do we make it fun, interesting, and exciting? But with that said, let's talk a little bit about the Jupiter community itself.
So, Jupiter community, obviously 18 months. It's actually, the DAO was 18 months ago, but before that, the Jupiter community had started. And, it was really just something brand new and fresh that was brought to the world of crypto and other aspects. And I mean, we weren't scared to experiment. There was so much that was brought in as a foundation. The work groups were a new model that paved the way, community-based into running operations like that. So there was a lot of stuff that we learned, obviously, from it. We're kind of considering that phase one. We got to a point where there was just a little bit too much going on inside the community that mixed with politics. So we needed to kind of give the community a separate identity where it's unified, but on its own, individual, separate from the DAO. Let the two be separate. And along with that came the idea of a fresh restart. After spending many nights, long nights with Meow in the middle of airports and hotels and so on and so forth over the last month or two. I mean, he's been so unbelievable helping with an essay that it's really tough act to follow. I know you came out with your essay last week, so
I said it did.
we did the best we can. Shout out to a lot of people who helped out. I mean, Jup and Juice, just everybody had a little bit of input. The OGs, you guys know who you are in the community. He helped with the essay, which I will release after this call. And there's going to be a reflection part, obviously, reflect and restart. The recap is really how we got here and what we built together. The reflection is going to be the lessons and challenges and insights gained along the way. And then there'll be the restart part. New phase designed to propel the community to a new place and take a little emotion out of it all.
So I know you just added some slides, so I haven't yet seen them. You tell me when to change the slides.
We could change.
Let's go through right now. All right, cool. And onboarding the entire world to DeFi. What's this all about, brother?
That's the goal. I mean, the goal is to take the community from where it was in the past, where everybody felt like the biggest purpose there was to really just debate votes. So we are going to change the way we're doing things and step it up where the community, the Discord, the socials, it's all about onboarding the entire world to the DeFi. That is the way forward. And I think there's a lot more that can be brought to the table by the community. I mean, anybody in that aspect. In the past, it was really about, who you were as a COC or a cadet or how much Jup you had staked and whatnot, how many votes you had. No. There's so much where, the futures in front of us where it comes to DeFi. We have community members out there that are able to teach. We have the OGs out there, even new guys. Famesy's one of them, preaching out there, pushing all these products. And the product releases have been unbelievable, to be honest with you, the last month or so. We started changing the way a little bit by having like a DeFi product series every other week, rotating with the Planetary call that brought in all the product leads, which is something very unique that hasn't really been brought into crypto before. And we've been getting a lot of positive feedback on there. So onboarding the entire world to DeFi is the way to go.
I think that what's so critical about this shift, and I really want people to understand this point. I know you mentioned it, but I just want to underline it here.
Please.
Previously, a community without a purpose at a core level is not a community that is going to be very stable or going to be able to grow. And if the only purpose of the community, and because the Jupiter community never really had a purpose outside of like have fun, get onboarded to DeFi safely, and kind of like meet people, et cetera, it was hard for people to know exactly where to contribute, right? And the ways in which they might contribute would vary greatly. And then certainly the mistake that we made in the past was that in the absence of this clearly defined purpose for everyone in the community that everyone can feel good about, it just kind of like defaulted into politics. And that was very true. Anyone who lives in any country that has politics knows politics can just as often divide people as it does bring them together, and much more often it'll divide people. And so we really want to have a clarity of purpose here that makes people feel good. That makes you feel like you're contributing positively to the world. If you're watching this call, if you're in the Jupiter community, you believe, like I believe, that the world is fundamentally a better place built on top of DeFi rails. Permissionless, accessible, lower fees, no middlemen, transparency, all of this kind of good stuff. We can bring this to the world. And Jupiter, from a product perspective, is best suited to do that already. And so what we just needed to do is kind of reorient the community so the community is explicitly funded and focused on making that happen at all times. This is a mission that you can go to sleep. If you're part of the Jupiter community and you help push forward on this mission, you're going to go to sleep every night feeling pretty goddamn good. And this is a way that we can kind of bring some people together here as well. Let's talk about some of the tactical changes that are going to be happening over here in the fresh start for the Jupyverse, Alicat.
You know, as I had mentioned already, independent community identity is key to this, separating itself from the DAO, and just having these community members step up on multiple ends. There's just so much that could be done. As I had mentioned, the teacher and preacher method is a big part of it. You have some community members, the great Molu for like Jupiter Land and whatnot. Fairy is one of them, JD. I mean, these guys know the products, and basically we're looking to get the community members to step up, teach this stuff in its own way to the community. In addition, on a regional level, hey, we might even have to change the way with that. I mean, the way to go with regionals is taking this DeFi aspect of it and, having a team going out there and translating it out there and having teachers and preachers, in the top languages of the world out there who could bring DeFi out there. We really want Jupiter and a Jupyverse to be the centralized place to just bring DeFi to the world.
The decentralized place, maybe, to bring DeFi to the world. Yeah.
Decentralized. Good. That was a good pickup.
So I think that there's going to be a lot of changes that are going to happen at a tactical level as well. Do you want to talk about those now, Alicat, or you want to just put those into the essay that goes out afterwards? Especially as it relates to the Discord server.
The Discord server, we could wait for the essay part of it, but there are going to be some changes in the Discord server that are going to transition starting tomorrow. I mean, we just need to unify the community a little bit more. There has to be separation of roles and colors and whatnot. So, hey, it's like Halloween week. I mean, let's just do this. Let's bring everybody together. And we're going to unify colors. We're going to unify roles. And, whatever was done in phase 1, we appreciate everything on that end of it. But there'll be more in the essay about it. And we're obviously going to have a community town hall where we could discuss different things, but there needs to be a separation. There needs to be no separation, basically. Everybody needs to be together as one unified community. And we feel there were certain things that we could do in the Discord that would help move that forward.
Absolutely. I think that Discord is obviously the kind of like home to the core of the community. Like really, if you think about the community as this like dartboard, right, as this like concentric circles. People like very far out on the fringes, maybe they've used the products, don't even hold the token, whatever, and then you get closer. Discord's really the heart of things. And so I do think that the way that we set up the Discord ends up having a very material impact on how the greater community ends up acting and how people think about it and behave within it. So it kind of starts there. That's like the core kernel. So you're going to see new channels, as he's saying, you're going to see a change in the roles. You're going to see a bunch of different things happening over there. And that's going to continue to propagate outwards with this core objective, unifying on a central mission of onboarding the world to DeFi. What does that look like in practice? It might look like grant programs. It might look like off-the-shelf that you can take to places. It's definitely going to mean more DeFi education content coming from the community, from great voices like Molu and AG and many others out there as well. You're going to see a lot of this coming forward. So all I can say is that if you in your heart feel that you are an excellent advocate for DeFi, or if you feel like you want to teach people about DeFi, whether it's being safe, how to trade, how to earn yield, how to launch tokens, whatever it might be, the Jupiter the community is the place you're going to go. Oh, my audio is rugging. Sorry, did that rug there, Ali?
Just a little bit. That's just a little bit. And the goal of that also is the people who are learning. I mean, we want people who are learning and taking the initiative to spend time. You know, eventually there's a place for you guys to elevate as teachers, and there will be a program for that will be rolled out. So this is just going to keep progressing. It's not going to be stale or stagnant, where it was just certain work groups, which, I mean, they led the way, obviously. But things need to change up a little bit, and we feel like we have a good picture of that and a good pulse from the community.
And indeed, over here, I think you wrote down a fuck ton of the names of those people who deserve those things, who are an earlier part of, or who are still a part of the community, but earlier were grant recipients, working in work groups, doing all sorts of things to make the community better. It's a long list. We're not going to, I mean, we don't have to read every last name.
CWG, CAWG, Uplink, Jup and Juice, DAWG, Reddit Trial Work Group, Web Trial Work Group, DevRel. I mean, they all led the way. Grantees, contributors. We tried to include everybody in there. Thank you so much for everything. Obviously, you guys are still a big part of the community. Some of them even in a bigger way than they were before, to be honest with you. So we just wanted to give a heartfelt thank you to everybody out there, all the cadets, the COCs, contributors, and the future is bright ahead of us. There's going to be more out there for sure.
That's a fact. Season 2. Let's get going, man. This
Season
is a
2.
new chapter for the Jupiter community, folks. I think it's going to contribute really intensely to the growth of Jupiter itself, to Jup the token, as well as to the entire world of DeFi. So really excited, and couldn't ask for a better person to be on top of that than you, Alley Cat. So it's pretty great. Any final words here before we jump?
Fresh start. Fresh start.
Let's go.
Looking forward to it. This feels right. It feels like the time. Everything happens for a reason, and I'm looking forward to it.
Let's see it. And Alec, what is your Twitter so people can see? Are you posting the essay, or is it going to go out through the new Jupiter community page?
I am going to post. We could do it that way for sure.
Let's figure it out. We'll talk after this and see. But yes, go follow Alec on Twitter anyway. He's doing great stuff anyway. Yeah, so you're going to want to follow.
I think it's on the first slide at AlleyCatNY. I think it's on the first slide, Kash.
This one.
One more. No, the other way. There we go.
Here we go. At AlleyCatNY. Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right. Thanks, brother. I'll catch you very soon.
Thank you so much.
Peace, I got you. Onboarding the world to DeFi. Community with a purpose. That's the kind of community that I want to be a part of. I'm very excited about this. All right, folks. I know that this was long. It was an hour and 42 minutes. I don't know who actually had that. I don't think anyone had an hour 42. So no one wins anything. Sorry, everybody. But what a call. My God. From all the wins, major product announcements, major shipments, Anchorage Digital opening up, bringing Jupiter and DeFi to the institutions. Limit orders go fucking crazy. I don't like to swear on this call, but sometimes I just have to. My God, what a big deal. Prediction market's going to continue to cook. Hundreds of markets coming very soon. DTF bringing you that transparency and better economic models and better functional models than you've seen elsewhere. Humidify, the first ICO that's going to happen in November. Incredibly exciting stuff. Burning vote for the Litterbox happening tomorrow. Fresh start for the community starting today. I mean, come on, folks. But what else can we do? That's a hell of a call. That's a lot to cover in 140 or an hour and 43 minutes. You got to say. But as Cindy says, TLDR, just use Jupiter. That's really where it all comes down to. Well, folks, I will tell you this: you do not. Oh, Bork said I literally said an hour and 40 minutes. Send me a screenshot of that comment, Bork, on Twitter, and then we will talk from there. This was an awesome Planetary call. Moving to once every 2 weeks. The Planetary calls were always great, but doing it once every 2 weeks, it's bangers only. You can't miss these. That is a fact. All right. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Thank you very much, my friends. I'll see you in 2 weeks' time.